Alright, what's going on and welcome to a brand new video. Thank you so much for tuning in again. Today's video is actually going to be very educational, so I definitely recommend you guys stick through the whole video so you guys can go away, leave today with some good tips on how to approach a good fat loss plan. So I'm actually going to be pulling one of the posts that I did on Instagram. If you guys are not following me on Instagram, boy, cause I'm a Highland boy. Alright. Hey, so first of all, Island boy, man. I'm an island boy now. I'm a Minnesota island boy. Know what I'm saying? I got some bullshit decor here just for the sake of the video because, hey man, I'm a fake YouTuber. That's why. But anyways, if you guys are not following me on Instagram already, this is my name, Eric Goodale Fit. So I definitely recommend, because I post educational fitness tips that can be very helpful and use them in the real world. All right? No bullshit here. Anyways, I'm gonna be pulling this post that I put up and then I go over different ways to have a fat loss approach. I know a lot of people don't know where to start, so I felt like this would be an educational video for those people that have maybe a hard time knowing what to do first, right? So the number one thing is, if you want to have a fat loss plan and moving forward, is I recommend you start tracking everything. Now, the reason why you need to start tracking is because if you have never tracked before, as far as tracking your calories, then how do you know if you are eating too much, if you're not eating enough, if you're eating just at maintenance? How do you know how much protein you're eating, how much carbohydrate, how much fat? You don't know any of these things, any of these variables, these factors that you need to know. You don't know. So I recommend start tracking your food, not even making any changes at all. Just start tracking your food and start visually seeing, oh, I'm eating X amount of calories per day, you know, for protein, fats, and carbs. And then from then you'll have a nice idea on what to do, right? So let's say that you start tracking your calories for a whole week and you eat 3,000 calories. And let's say that you've been gaining weight slowly and you don't know why. Well, now you know that you've been actually overeating by some calories because you have some data to use. So now that you have 3,000 calories, I'm just gonna use that for the example of the video. Then if you want to lose fat, then I would recommend start reducing at least 200 to 400 calories, even maybe up to 500 calories. Now, the range is going to be different depending on the person. If you are more of an aggressive person where you wanna just diet for like maybe a month and that's it, then I would say maybe cut 500 to 1,000 calories. But I wouldn't recommend that, and the reason is because the more aggressive you cut, then the more likely you're going to rebound and gain all that weight back. So then what was the point of that quick 1 month cut when you're gonna gain it all back in the next month or two, right? So that's why I recommend the slower you cut, the better, because at the end of your cut, then you'll be able to at least maintain that weight that is your new weight now because you dieted slowly, and you won't have that rebound effect because you won't be starving so dramatically if you were to just cut 1,000 calories from the beginning. So you need to know exactly what is going to be your ratios. Like, some people like to track calories, other people like to track macros. I personally like to track both, but the most important macronutrient is going to be protein, because when you are cutting, you are reducing calories. Protein is going to be highest satiating macronutrient, and also it's going to allow you to build muscle. So that is the one macronutrient, in my opinion, that should be always in check when you're counting your calories, okay? So if you are reducing your calories, a good rule of thumb is for males, up to 1 gram to 1.2 grams per pound of body weight. You can eat more than a gram per pound of body weight, but you're not going to build more muscle. It's just going to help you be more satiated. Now, I would actually recommend going a little bit higher than 1.1 gram per pound of body weight. Once you're at the end of your cut, like once you started reducing calories, you have to take calories from either protein, carbs, or fat. You don't want to take too much from protein because you're cutting, so you only have two options, either fat or carbs. So then you keep your protein high. Your second option that I would recommend is going to be fat. Start cutting fat, because fat is 9 calories per gram, right? Whereas carbohydrates actually has 4 calories per gram. So because fat has the most amount of calories per gram compared to protein and fat, protein is the same as carbs as far as calories, then you're gonna start reducing your calories from fat first. Now, the third one is, once you started doing all of this, you have to now look at your activity level. So if you are sedentary right now, let's say you're very inactive, like you have a desk job, like actually myself, because life is actually a little bit more inactive whereas before. So to compensate for that, you actually have to do cardio. You have to go out of your way to do cardio so that you don't get fat, right? And to actually accelerate this cut, right? So once you have all your calories figured out, right, then I would recommend start doing some cardio. If you're doing zero cardio, then I would recommend at least starting with 3 times per week at 25 minutes. Now that's gonna allow you to get the ball rolling faster in combination with the calorie deficit, reducing calories, right, from fat. Now, once you're doing this, you should start seeing some weight loss. If you at this point have been doing everything I just mentioned and you are still not losing weight, one, you're actually not at a calorie deficit through your meals, through your calories, and two, you need to increase your cardio. So unfortunately, there's not a blueprint for everyone because not everyone has the same metabolism. So because of that, unfortunately, some people may need to put more work to lose the same amount of weight as the other person. That is called genetics. So if you have shitty genetics when it comes to losing weight or just fat distribution as a whole, you're gonna have harder time to keep a lean physique because you just have more fat cells. You were just born with more fat cells. Sorry, blame your parents. That's not my fault. And I naturally have a harder time being lean because I was born with more fat cells. My dad is a little bit overweight. Family history, they've all been a little bit bigger. So I have to do cardio year round. I have to eat a little bit less if I want to look how I want to look. If I just eat whatever, I'm gonna easily gain fat. Whereas some other people may have a fast metabolism, they may, not gain that much fat, So that's going to be the last tip, guys. So make sure you're doing your cardio, all right? And if you do all of these things, I promise you it's going to be very simple. Eat less than your maintenance once you know that, and you're gonna know that by tracking your calories for a whole week. After that, okay, now you know your maintenance calories. Subtract 200 to 500 calories from what, in my opinion, not from protein, but from mostly fat and then carbs. After you're in a calorie deficit, you have a new number, maybe that's 2,500 from the 3,000 we took. Okay, now you're in a deficit. But perhaps that's not even enough. Maybe you're just too inactive. Even that is taking you too long to lose weight. Okay, we'll add some cardio. You're gonna add 3 days per week at 25 minutes and then see what happens. And then test run that for a whole week and then see what happens. And if nothing happens, I would say increase your cardio. I wouldn't reduce your calories. I always am a firm believer of increase your cardio first, increase your movement, whether that's running, walking, hiking, whatever that is, and then decrease your calories because you can always do more cardio, but you get to a point where you can't eat less because then you're essentially starving. So if you want to eat more calories while losing weight, then just do more movement, do more cardio, thus help you lose more weight faster. It's not rocket science. No, man, it's not rocket science. It's simple, but it's only simple if you know what you're doing and you have a game plan. So that is it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I thought that it was very useful to bring this on today because I feel like a lot of people don't know what they're doing and they need to know what they're doing because I used to not know what I was doing and now I do know what I'm doing and it's pretty nice. So anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you guys and I'll see you guys next time.